Welcome to Crimes Beyond Borders, where we'll bring you the most thrilling true crime stories every single day. If you're fascinated by mystery, intrigue, and the darker side of human nature, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us as we unravel the most shocking and perplexing criminal cases from around the world. The story is about to begin after this intro.
From city streets to far-off lands, mystery slipping through our hands. Crimes beyond borders they speak, voices strong but words are meek. Every story leaves a mark, whispers softly in the dark.
Our stories at first are made for ourselves, to comfort us, to help us sleep, and to learn. Along the way, they become a part of our journey, teaching us English and fueling our passion for true crime. So, listen carefully, and if you're about to sleep, close your eyes. Let's begin. The thrill of the hunt, a killer's adrenaline rush. There's nothing in the world like the feeling of adrenaline. Nothing. Some people try to compare it to other things, drugs, sex, power, but they don't understand. The pure rush of it, the way it takes over your entire body, turning everything sharp and vivid, is something you can't replicate. Not unless you felt it the way I have. I don't remember when the addiction started. It's not like I woke up one day and decided I was going to live my life chasing the high of adrenaline. It's something that crept up on me slowly until it became the only thing that mattered. And once it had its claws in me, there was no turning back. People think addiction is about weakness, about not being able to control yourself, but they're wrong. My addiction isn't a weakness, it's what makes me stronger. It's what makes me different from everyone else. The first time I felt it was in my late teens. I'd been caught stealing from a local convenience store. It wasn't even a big deal, just something stupid my friends and I did for kicks. But the moment the store clerk grabbed my arm and yanked me back, I felt it, the rush. My heart pounded in my chest, my breath quickened, and every nerve in my body seemed to be on fire. It wasn't fear. No, it was something much more intoxicating than that. It was excitement. Pure, unfiltered excitement. I talked my way out of trouble that time, convinced the clerk I'd made a mistake. He let me go, and I walked out of that store with a grin plastered across my face. I wanted to do it again. I needed to do it again. But petty theft wasn't enough. It didn't take long before I realized that the small, everyday dangers couldn't give me the high I craved. I started looking for bigger thrills, more dangerous, more intense experiences that would push me to the edge of what I could handle. Speeding down highways at 120 miles an hour, jumping off bridges into rivers, trespassing in places I had no business being. Each time, I pushed further, needing the next rush to be bigger, more dangerous than the last. And it worked for a while. I felt invincible. The adrenaline was my drug, and as long as I was chasing it, nothing else mattered. I could feel it building, moment after moment, like standing at the top of a roller coaster right before the drop. The problem is, you can't stay on that high forever. Eventually, the roller coaster slows down, and you're left at the bottom again, craving more. I needed something different, something bigger. And that's when I realized that it wasn't just the danger that gave me the high. It was the power, the control, the feeling that I was playing with life and death, skirting the edges of danger, but always managing to come out on top. It was about being the one in control of the chaos. This time, it wasn't random. I chose my victim carefully, a woman, early 30s, who lived alone in a quiet neighborhood. I watched her for weeks, learning her routine, waiting for the perfect moment. And when it came, it was like everything had aligned in my favor. She was coming home late, alone, the street deserted. I waited in the shadows until she unlocked her door, then slipped in behind her. She didn't even have time to scream. The rush was even better the second time. I could feel it coursing through me as I held her down, her eyes wide with fear, her hands desperately trying to push me away. But I was in control. I was the one with the power. And as the life drained out of her, I felt that same euphoria wash over me, stronger than before. This time, I didn't leave right away. I stayed for a while, sitting in the silence of her house, my heart still racing from the kill. The adrenaline was like a drug, flooding my veins, making everything feel sharper, more alive. I looked around at her things, her photos, her books, her clothes, and I realized something. I wasn't just addicted to the rush of adrenaline, I was addicted to the power, the control, the knowledge that I could walk into someone's life, take everything from them, and walk away without a trace. It was exhilarating, and it was terrifying, because I knew deep down that this was only the beginning. The high wouldn't last. It never did. And the next time, I'd need more. I'd need to push further to chase an even bigger rush. I kept going, victim after victim, always chasing that next high. Each time, I pushed myself further, getting closer to the edge of danger. I knew that if I made a mistake, if I slipped up even once, the adrenaline would turn to panic, and the game would be over. But that was part of the thrill. The danger, the risk, the feeling that I was always one step away from getting caught. That's what fueled me. That's what kept the adrenaline flowing. And yet, I never did get caught. I was careful. I planned every move, every step, making sure there were no mistakes, no loose ends. I was smarter than the rest. I knew how to stay in control. But even with all the planning, all the precision, there was always that little sliver of uncertainty, that little voice in the back of my mind whispering, "What if this time is the time you slip?" That voice was what kept me going. The adrenaline wasn't just in the kill, it was in the chase, in the hunt, in the knowledge that at any moment, everything could come crashing down. And I craved it. I craved that uncertainty, that danger. People like to think they can understand addiction, but they don't know what it's like to chase something as powerful as adrenaline. They don't know what it's like to live on the edge, to feel that rush in your veins every time you step closer to the brink of destruction. But I do. I've been living it for years. I've killed more people than I can count now, each one different, each one giving me that rush, that thrill. And every time I tell myself it'll be the last, that I've pushed far enough that I can stop. But I can't. I never will, because I'm addicted. Not to the kill, not even to the power. I'm addicted to the adrenaline, the chase, the fear, the thrill of knowing that at any moment it could all end. And that's what keeps me going. The story has come to an end, but stay relaxed. If you feel yourself drifting off to sleep, just let the video play and enjoy the soothing music in the background. Let it guide you gently into rest. We'll be here, bringing you more stories every night. Sleep well, and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m.
It whispers, cities asleep. Mystery in the air, it seeps. Flickering lamps dimly glow. Secrets hidden where few will go. In the half-light, truth begins to show. Unseen forces pull and tow. Windows shut, curtains drawn tight. Lonely figures melt in the night. Echoes fade out of sight. Moonlight bathes the world in fright. Ticking clocks, relentless sound. Time slips when danger's around. In the shadows, lost and found. Haunting silence so profound. Flickering lamps dimly glow. Secrets hidden where few will go. In the half-light, truth begins to show. Unseen forces pull and tow. Windows shut, curtains drawn tight. Lonely figures melt in the night. Echoes fade out of sight. Moonlight bathes the world in fright. Ticking cloisters on crumbling walls, telling